Ahmed Ahmed E. Muhammad says, why do we why do we not critically think that qira'at are just mistakes? Allah. Folks. Ahmed E. Muhammad says, why do we not critically think that qira'at are just mistakes? I really like this question. And this question is what uh, opponents of Islam need to think about. They don't put themselves in our shoes. Yeah, they don't put themselves in our shoes. They're looking at these as attacks against the deen. Ahmadi Muhammad asked this very good question, and I want to see what you guys have to say. Like, why don't we just consider these things mistakes? And like if you I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. Samin says because we have chains of it going back to the Prophet. طيب. That's one answer. It's all right. True Legion said, "What is the quest? What was his question?" The problem is, yeah, True Legion. The problem is, you guys are focusing on the comments. Focus on the question. Mahmoud Sajid, I believe. Sajid. Ahmed Muhammad, you don't know anything. Oh my God. You don't know anything of basic Arabic grammar, and you're speaking about critiquing qira'at. So Ahmed E. Muhammad is speaking about. He's not speaking about qira'at um, and critiquing. It's the brother is speaking about the concept. The brother is speaking about the concept in general. Prophet Muslim says because the meanings actually complement each other. That's one. That's another reason. Scalinator says, "What's the question?" Hey, shufa. I was writing a question. All you punks. There's like 100 people. There's 103 people here, and like 2 people heard the question. I'm so disappointed in you guys. Muhammad says Quran is transmitted with tawatur. That's another one. There's a very easy way of approaching it. There's a very easy way of approaching it. Yusuf Zahran says, all qira'at, 10, we have confirmed today is actually all mutawatir to the Prophet Muhammad, and they are not contradictory, they are compatible. Assassin says, Rasulullah said, Allah revealed the Quran in 7 ahruf. So that's what. So that's about it. What when it comes to that, it's a good answer. That's actually one of the better answers. This is interesting. Check out what Adam says. The concept of qira'at didn't develop gradually. It was there from the start, and everyone acknowledged it. It's a good answer. That's a good answer. I like that. Let's carry on. What else? So far, no one said what I have in mind. Mahmoud says, all the qira'ats I read are all the same in meanings. Well, yeah, Mahmoud, I gotta disagree, bro. I gotta disagree. Assassin says, secondly, it is a miracle because it shows the Quran preserved in different areas by multiple people. Okay. Bin Khadim says, because they're not mistakes. Best answer, Bin Khadim says. Okay, I'm about to share my view, inshallah. Is your new book digitally available as well? Not at the moment. Maybe one day. YRYSF says, so qira'at have different meanings sometimes. Most of the times, no. Most of the times they're dialectal and they don't change the meaning. Zila says شلون وصلت الناس على 7 أحرف في نفس الوقت؟ هل الرسول there's a format issue. هل الرسول يكرر أو كان يكرر الآية 7 مرات وقت نزولها؟ I don't think so. I don't think he did. Let's get to this inshallah. Mahmoud says, I meant in the sense that qira'at don't contradict each other. Yes, of course. They do not contradict each other. But it's incorrect to say it's incorrect to say they have the same meaning. That's inaccurate. Muhammad Dolan says, how could there be mistakes in the short surah al-Fatiha when 5-year-old kids remember it without mistakes? Someone get Farid a neck rest. Let me fix my chair. Ahmed E. Muhammad says, Shabab, I'm just asking because my brothers who found out about Qira'at freak out. Some not the same meaning, and there is 3 more Qira'ats that weren't canonized yet. Okay. Yallah. You should do a collaboration with Wissam al-Mahdi. Imagine the Quran, different Qira'ats. Can you expand on your recent video explanation of it? God can wonder, but not in ignorance. Scalinator, I saw someone in the comments saying that the best word is marvel. It's not wonder, it's marvel. I think marvel is a good English translation. You marvel at something. Yeah, it's because it's something rare. It's not like you're ignorant about it. So I think that's a better translation. And then, okay, let me tell you guys something. Let me help you guys out. Do you listen to Osama al-Wa'idh only when he's next to me? طيب, okay. Best guys, too many questions. Let me just share my thoughts. Okay. So here's the thought. The natural, folks, the natural assumption when you have, I hope you have a great night. لا يا حبيبي, stay, Mahmoud. Stay, give me 1 minute, bro. Let me explain something to you. The natural assumption when you have variants attributed to a specific text is that it's a mistake. This is the natural assumption. If you see any text, a book, a poem, a saying, a sermon with multiple wordings, the most common assumption, the natural assumption, is to assume these are mistakes. Okay? So when you find centuries of scholarship all agreeing that there are multiple recitations to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or that there are multiple ways of reading the same book, then this shows that this is the orthodox position. Okay? That's the first point. That's one point. What did Adam say? Adam had a good point. I forgot what Adam said. Folks, remind me what Adam said. Adam, remind me what you said, Adam. It was a good point. But yes, the first thing is the natural assumption is that these are mistakes. When everyone is saying, no, the Quran is actually revealed in multiple modes, then this is, this makes sense. Then this has to be the orthodox position. The second piece of evidence is that they're like much of the variants are dialects. when you have multiple dialects, you don't assume that these are mistakes. أيوة شوفوا check out what Adam says. He says قراءات were not developed gradually. They were there from the start and were acknowledged. That's it. If they were not there from the start, if this was a view that was introduced later on, you'd have these two views. You'd have two views. But you only have one view. You only have one view, which is the Quran is revealed in multiple modes. Okay? You have some other things to keep in mind. Sa'id bin Jubair, yeah, used to recite in two recitations. What's going on? Why is Sa'id bin Jubair reciting two recitations? In Ramadan, in one night, he recites the recitation of Zayd bin Thabit / Uthman bin Affan. And the other night, he's reciting the recitation of Ibn Mas'ud. Sa'id bin Jubair is one of the Imams of the Ummah, one of the Imams of the Tabi'een. Why is he reciting two recitations if there's only one recitation? Okay? And then you have Ibn Sirin. And these are, by the way, these are like authentic attributions to these ulama. And you'll find this stuff like in Masahif Ibn Abi Dawood and I think Kitab al-Dani, like one of al-Dani's books, Jami' al-Bayan, if I recall correctly. You find stuff like this in those works, in these early works about Qira'at and whatnot. But yeah, you find Ibn Sirin saying, I wish I could memorize multiple recitations, because it was difficult for him to memorize more than one. So he only stuck with one. طيب? So that's the second proof. And then, of course, Assassin pointed out the hadith of Rasulullah that says that the Quran was revealed in 7 modes. Okay? So here's what to expect. If this was a false view, then you would have multiple views. You'd have one view saying there's only one recitation, and you'd have another view that says the Quran was revealed in 7 ahruf. Why don't you have any one from the Sahaba saying there's only one harf? Why don't you have any of the Tabi'een saying there's only one harf? Why don't you have anyone from Atba' Tabi'een saying there's only one harf? Everyone is saying 7 ahruf, 7 ahruf, 7 ahruf, 7 ahruf, 7 ahruf. Everyone's saying this. You have 10 or 11 companions that all recite from Rasulullah, narrate from Rasulullah that he said the Quran was revealed in 7 ahruf. So that's a point I wanted to get across. Another point that's also very important is, what is this amazing book? What is this amazing book that comes in multiple modes? It's ajib. It's ajib. And Fadl Sulaiman says, like, subhanAllah, this is something that we need to focus on in our da'wah. In our da'wah, we're supposed to tell people, like, don't think this is a shubha. Don't think this is an argument that is like used against Islam. Muslims are supposed to say, yo, check it out, 7 ahruf. Is there anything like this? Look at these meanings, how they're complementary and how they add to the meaning of the text. So this is not supposed to be a shubha. طيب. So, inshallah, you folks found that beneficial. There, and let me give you one more thing, one more thought. Sam'een says one difference is king versus owner. Yes, you're correct. Those are different meanings. And let me tell you why. I'll tell you what's so interesting about king versus owner. Because you'd say like what's the point? Like what's yani, what are we gaining from this idea of king versus owner? And subhanallah, every time you find a difference in meaning, you'll find some yani, amazing reason behind it. And it's amazing how it adds to the eloquence. Ibn Uthaymeen was saying, when talking about king versus owner, he says, notice this. When you have an owner, like an owner is, yani, an owner is, of course, someone that owns something, but they're not necessarily in a very high position, right? But a king is always in a high position. But sometimes the king isn't doesn't have like full control, even though an owner has full control of what they're controlling. But if it's king and owner, then it's someone of a high position that has full control. I enjoyed that one. Eh.